Alright, EC was the best shooter in the world, so they made it prove it by Jimmy Arroyo.
Not the smartest guy in the world. In fact, far from it. Most days, I'd say I probably fall somewhere between competent and incoherent. But despite my painfully average intelligence, I am still smart enough to know at least one thing is for certain. I am not better at basketball than an NBA player. Any of them. Literally nothing I can do with a basketball in my hands is up to par with a single player in the NBA. But this isn't breaking news. By now, we all know this. Except this guy. This is Anthony Miracola, and he claims to be the best shooter in the entire world.
In the entire world?
Self-proclaimed title that
better than Curry, then.
Breaking several basketball shooting world records. Anthony's good, really good. But to find out the harrowing truth that he is not better than an NBA player, he got invited onto national television to have a shootout against an NBA player. The outcome of this shootout? Worse than you could imagine.
He's 5'2" or some shit?
Do you think you are the greatest pure shooter of all time? Just straight shooting?
Yes.
Ever? Yes?
Yes.
Maybe he had a bad day. He's happened even to the best player in the world, bro. Sometimes he's just having a bad day. Maybe distressed.
The weather might be cooling
all those
down,
things. I'm
but
not
the
trying
action
to
on
back
the
him
field
up,
is
but I'm
heating
just
up.
saying,
And
like,
with
it's
a score
possible.
of 28 in the final round of the contest, taking home the trophy with his name forever etched into NBA history. A performance where he hit 80% of his shots, only missing 5 out of 25. Under this format,
Booker
where the
won
highest
one?
score possible is
I didn't
34,
I didn't
Booker
know.
put on a three-point clinic that
I think
even
Curry's the
shooters
first
like
to have
Stephen Curry and
his
Klay
first,
Thompson
right?
couldn't keep up with. And 4 years later, he
Klay,
still holds this
Curry.
incredible three-point shooting
Whoa,
record.
really?
Until the greatest shooter alive, Anthony Miracola, broke it in 2022 with a score of 31. At last year's three-point open high-stakes contest in Pennsylvania, Anthony put on one of the most absurd displays of shooting you'll ever see, winning the contest and taking home a $100,000 cash prize.
Wow.
Look at this. The man doesn't
Good for
miss.
him.
I mean, Anthony did have an extra 10 seconds compared to the NBA contestants, and he was shooting from the college three-point line, which is 2 feet closer. And he had 9 warm-up shots before beginning this record-breaking round. And, well, of course, this performance didn't take place in an NBA three-point contest. But a record is a record.
That's a lot of
and
difference
as the
then.
world's best shooter,
It's not the
Anthony's got
same
a lot
thing.
of them. Over the last decade, Anthony has been slowly taking down nearly every basketball shooting record available, and possibly some that are not. Most three-pointers made in a minute, 31. Most three-pointers made in 3 minutes, 93. Most free throws made in 1 minute, 67. That's more than a free throw made per second. I mean, at a rate like that, you must have some crazy contraption helping you get the balls back or something. Most free throws made in 3 minutes, 201.
He's just
beating the
doing
old record
everything
by
at this
a
point.
very modest 101. And he doesn't plan on stopping until every shooting record is his. His most recent world record on the books, most free throws made while standing on one leg. But with all of this fame and glory as the world's greatest shooter comes a lot of challengers. People who doubt your claims, want to take your spot as the top dog, refute your records and say, well, I mean, how many people have even attempted shooting free throws on one leg? But that's neither here nor there. And this hasn't stopped Anthony from taking down the competition and taking down records along the way. Until he showed up. Former NBA player and now NBA analyst, Kenny Smith. See, back in the 90s, Kenny Smith was one of the NBA's premier sharpshooters. And as one of the best among the best, there is a massive void between him and some regular Joe when it comes to shooting a basketball. And throughout the years, Kenny has challenged other former NBA players to a three-point shootout to test their skills and win bragging rights on live national television. No warm-ups, no do-overs. He went toe-to-toe with, at the time, the greatest shooter of all time, Reggie Miller, and was one shot away from beating him. He challenged former NBA sharpshooter Danny Ainge to a three-point shootout and walked him like a dog while clearing the last rack and staring him down as the last ball went through the net. He challenged former flamethrower Michael Redd at the ripe age of 49 and beat him as well. Kenny even went as far as challenging Jason Terry, one of the greatest long-range shooters ever, to a three-point shootout for the rights to the nickname, The Jet. Does anyone want to take a wild guess at who won?
Who won?
You better come back over here.
He didn't win, no way.
You better come back over here. You better come back over
He
here.
won?
Oh, okay. You better come back over here and shoot again. You better come back over here. I'm the Jet in here. What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? What's my name, Chuck?
Another one, Hal.
Chuck, what's my name?
Kenny the Jet Smith.
What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? What's my name?
This is not a man you want to mess with. Because no matter how many years go by, no matter how knocked those knees get, once an NBA player, always an NBA player. And Anthony Miracola had to learn this the hard way.
2019.
It's been a few years
since
Anthony Miracola began his record-breaking mission. He's already a world record holder.
In front of his son?
The greatest shooter on the planet.
Come on,
man.
So
the crew over at NBA on TNT with Shaq, Charles, Ernie, and Kenny invite him onto the show to do a segment talking about his success. The crew is excited to have him on and hear his story. But lurking 5 feet to his left is Kenny Smith, who has identified his next victim. As a fun little gimmick, the crew has 10-year-old phenom Landon Spicer go toe-to-toe with Shaquille O'Neal in a free throw competition. The kid is a machine. He knocks down his shots. And to absolutely no one's surprise, Shaq does not. The kid is eating it up. He loves it.
Nothing surprising.
Amazingly enough, you've beaten Shaq in a free throw contest.
That's funny, Chuck.
The real show is about to begin. Ernie proposes a shootout between the greatest shooter in the world.
Bro, this dude Shaq is too sensitive, bro. Come on, bro. He's getting mad.
54-year-old Kenny, the real Jet Smith. Kenny couldn't say yes fast enough. He just watched this man set a world record and sink 31 three-pointers in a minute, and he's chomping at the bit to face him. Right from the jump, Anthony is getting put through the ringer, and he hasn't even taken a single shot. They ask him where he'd like to shoot from. He says the free throw line. They say they're not doing that.
It don't matter. You pick the spot. He the guest.
This right here?
It don't matter. Oh, we don't. That's free throw.
You want to shoot right here?
He's shooting threes.
Free from out here.
NBA threes.
Oh, it's hard to argue though, man.
NBA three-point line it is. Anthony's already feeling the pressure. The studio's court.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I said at the beginning. It's probably the pressure and all those things.
This, but the crew ain't going for it.
But if he practices a little bit more, instead of doing those high school line, maybe it's gonna be better.
Like a pack of hyenas, the crew is circling. Barkley's yelling at the poor guy. Shaq is right behind him, repeating everything Charles is saying. A 7-foot echoing monolith.
Damn, he was probably under pressure,
it's at
bro.
this moment,
Feel
Anthony
bad for
begins
him.
to realize what he's gotten himself into. But being the gracious host that he is, Kenny allows Anthony to go first.
Yeah, first of three.
You going?
No, it's your welcome.
Just shoot.
Because if I make the first one, I won't put too much pressure on.
Okay.
All right, there you go. All right, there it is. See?
That's off by
I'll make that first one.
It's a miss. We are one attempt into this competition, and Charles Barkley has already seen enough. Anthony asks for the ball, and Charles just stares at him. Have you ever, in your life, seen someone so unamused? Meanwhile, Kenny Smith is taking off his jacket to prepare to lay that NBA caliber beatdown.
I'm going to take it off, Shaq.
Both of us ain't going to lose today.
Actually, it's the shirt. It's the shirt that's tight. It's the shirt that's tight,
No.
Ernie. You know what I'm saying, Ernie? You know what I'm saying? Oh, this
No.
shirt that's tight, Ernie. It's the shirt that's tight. But it's the form that's never tight.
Oh my gosh.
The form ain't never tight, Ernie. Turn right now.
Oh no. In dress shoes and slacks, Kenny went into the shootout completely cold, but he's already heating up. And our friend Anthony is 0 for 2.
I mean, again,
Now,
this is the
I wanna take this
difference
moment
between
to remind
NBA
everyone out there
line
about a
and
quote a wise man once said: "I am closer to LeBron than you are to me." Famous words uttered by none other than Brian Scalabrine. For 11 seasons, Brian spent his time in the NBA as the league's resident scrub, averaged 3 points a game,
Really?
didn't see the court on many nights. In fact, in 2012, while LeBron was in his prime and nearly led the league in scoring, Brian was putting up a whopping 1 point per game.
Okay, I will do
About
better than
as
this.
far away
Come on,
from
bro.
LeBron
No
as a player
disrespect,
in the NBA is
but I will
going
do
to
better
get.
than this.
And yet,
I go right now in the
despite
NBA.
this, Brian was
5 points per
acutely
game at
aware of
least.
the fact that even with this massive void as an NBA player, he was still worlds closer to LeBron than we are to him. One of the worst, but still an NBA player. At the time of this shootout, Kenny Smith had been retired for over 2 decades. He spent his days in a chair talking about the game, not playing it, but he is still a former NBA player, and the gap between him and Anthony was insurmountable.
All right, there it is. See?
That's off by
I'll make that
The way
first one.
Shug was looking at him is so like, damn, bro.
I'm about to take it off, Shaq.
I got it.
I'm about to take it off, Shaq. Oh, I'm going to take it off, Shaq.
Both of us ain't going to
Actually,
lose
it's the
today.
shirt. Actually, it's the shirt. It's the shirt that's tight. Oh. It's the shirt that's tight, Ernie. You know what I'm saying, Ernie? You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is the shirt that's tight, Ernie. It's the first. It's the shirt that's tight. But it's the form that's never tight. The form ain't never tight, Ernie. Turn right now.
Damn.
Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go home. Let's go home.
Damn. Damn. They're all laughing, but him is not laughing.
Everyone what the best shooter in the world can do turned into 90 seconds of badgering, yelling, excuses, and 2 missed shots. The poor guy didn't even get a third one. Kenny went 3 for 3, and it was over. Where's that 20-foot assembly required shooting contraption when you need it? His moment came, and it went. The crew does their best to make Anthony feel better, but the damage is already done. This man holds 7 basketball shooting world records. In terms of us average Joes, he can shoot the rock better than just about anyone. He's hit 31 three-pointers in a single minute. He's made over 200 free throws in 3 minutes. But on this day, Anthony finally learned the haunting truth that we all have to come to terms with eventually. He is still not better than an NBA player, even when they're 54, decades into retirement, and wearing a suit.
Sheesh. Damn, on live television too, bro.